Welcome to the chaos. I'm Chris, and this is my corner. So, today, I'm going to try to finish up little Emma. I know there's a glare right here, but it's just on the plastic. Once I lift that plastic, it goes away. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't, but it's just the glue then. But it's going to be okay. But I have this a little bit in here, and then this square here is all I have left to do. And I'm excited to get her finished, because then I'm going to actually start on my Chuck Pinson, my Sanctuary, which is that really pretty waterfall one that I kitted up last week. And I don't know if I'm going to even post that video of the kit up, because it took me over 2 hours to kit that thing up. So maybe I can do like a voiceover and zoom it, zoom speed it so that it goes fast, because 2 hours is way too long for a video. I can't even get y'all to watch a full 1 hour video, but it's okay, because as long as you guys are enjoying what you do watch, that's the important stuff. Okay, so this is Emma from Dragons and Beasties, and it is a Diamond Art Club, and I'm almost done. I was actually working on her while my brother was having surgery a couple days ago, and I was his transportation to that. So I did a lot, but that's why I only did like half instead of like going all the way up, because that's what I usually do is this corner to this corner, and then this corner and this corner. I would normally work across like that, but it was just the space that I had. It was just easier to keep going all the way up. I do think it looks kind of silly with she's so bright pink where it's finished, and it's like this dull lavender up here. Anyway, so let's get busy. It is like 6:30 in the morning while I'm filming this, so it's dark outside. Nico is here, but he's still in his cage. He's not happy about being in there. He really wants to get out. He likes to cause trouble, in case y'all didn't get that already from him. I don't know how you couldn't have, but whatever. I'm trying to get the wax off the sides of my pen, because it bothers me when it gets in there. I might have a little bit of OCD, and I'm not just like making that, because I have, problems, but I really think I might have a mild form of it, because I'm always stressed when things are not perfect. Oh, okay, let's see what we can get out of here. We're gonna do this purple color. Let me get that dryer sheet out of the way. So, like I said, I kitted up my Chuck Pinson Sanctuary. It was last week, I think on Friday, maybe. That was just a trash drill. But I haven't started on it yet, because I've still got the heading home that I did make a little progress on, but not a lot. And, man. Figures. Anyway, And this one I've been working on, but there's just been a lot going on, but it's not, I don't know how to explain. It's not like a lot for me because it, like I said, it's my brother had surgery, and you know, it's members of my family, and of course I'm worried and stressed about them, but not as much so, I think, if it was like actually something in my household, you know. So, but he's doing fine. He came through. Everything is actually better than expected. So on that front, we are actually very good. Why do you do that? Why does my life hate me? There. Get in there. See, I'm always trying to multi-place, and things just don't work for me the way they're supposed to. There we go. So I always end up having to shift it with the tip. Let's see. So, today I finally get to go pick up. So I got, I think I've showed you my mini cobalt toolboxes that my husband got for me. And the cabinet part, which is the bottom piece, finally came in. So I get to go pick that up, and I'm real excited about that. 4, 5, 6. But otherwise, I feel like there's not a lot going on. What is happening with these drills, man? Place it down. There we go. I thought it was just because it was the awkward position that I was in when I was working on this at the hospital, but I'm not used to this quality from Diamond Art Club. This is kind of disappointing. I'm sure it'll be fine though. Generally is the user. I got a drill stuck to the side there. I'll just grab that up and use it. So I can't wait to get going on this Pinson. I've been waiting forever already, but I really still was thinking I should probably work on some of my smaller Kincaids first, the ones I got from Walmart. Maybe I'll just, because I did kind of show them in my stash video, but I never took them out of the boxes. In fact, I only opened them when I very first got them. So maybe I'll do an unboxing video of that. But I don't know if it's important to anyone else. So if you want, you can let me know what you think about unboxing some of those Walmart ones. And I think they're great because they were each under $16. I think it was $15.97 for each one of them. Now, one of them I did have to pay a little more for because it's been sold out for absolute months. And so I had to get it from someone on the internet, and she only charged me like an extra $10. Well, no, she charged me $25 for the shipping and the canvas and everything. But I wanted it real bad, and $25 I didn't think was that bad. This one here, this Emma, I think I only paid $17.99 for her. So that was, and that was full Amazon listed price. So that was a great price for this little cutie. Almost done with this purple color. I keep thinking when I'm not filming about things, you know, to kind of talk about and discuss. And then when I start filming, I can't remember a single stupid thing. Oh, but where is that? So, you know, I told you about my husband and his coin collecting. So, here's, let me try not to get a glare. This is a Judean coin. This is one of those ones that I was talking about that's called the widow's mite. This is from over 100 years BC. Maybe as early as 75 BC, but still. That is 2,100 years ago. And here's the little bitty coin. So if any of you are familiar, I'm sorry, yeah, this light. If anybody is familiar with that tale, let me see if I put something white behind it. There we go. Of, you know, the widow that dropped 2 little coins into the church collection box, and Jesus said she gave more than all the people that were giving, you know, hundreds and hundreds of coins, because this was all she had, was 2 of these little coins. But aside from all of that, like, this is just, and it's been appraised, you know, and that's why it's in the little case. Like, this is so cool. Anyway, I thought, and I think he left his binder somewhere around here, but I have no idea where it is. But it has like all kinds of super cool things in it. He just gets on these wild kicks about what he's collecting, and it's really, I mean, it's not that it's not fascinating stuff, but he's got probably 20 of these now. Only one in this kind of case. That's already been appraised and everything, and you can really see, this one you can't see much detail on it. It looks just pretty flat, but some of the ones he has, you can see where it was stamped as coinage, you know, or official money, I guess. I don't know, whatever. It's really cool, I think. So I just had to show you guys that, because that was pretty cool. He got me a Japanese coin that I thought was really cool, because it's like it's huge. It's like, you know, this big, and it's an oval shape, but at its biggest part, it's like this, and then skinnier along the sides. And it's got this big square in the middle, and I thought it was really cool. But it's old Japanese money from like the 14th century, 13th century maybe. I don't know, something like that. So, I guess you guys are going to be getting lessons in ancient coins, because that's fun. Let's see. 4s is what this one is. I have to remind myself as I'm going along what I'm doing, because I am not a multitasker. And most women, especially, I hope this doesn't upset anyone, but especially mothers, you know, when you've got the little ones running around and you have to keep half your mind on what they're doing, you know, and then half your mind on what you're doing for whatever. And I never was any good at that. Like, it would probably take 10 minutes of silence in my house before I'd go, where are the kids? And I probably shouldn't, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that, because then people are going to think I was like a bad mom, but I really just can't concentrate on two things at once. It's very hard for me. But my kids are all well-adjusted adults. They're fine. So maybe I wasn't the greatest, but they never got into so much that their life was in danger, you know? They never almost drowned or any of that. And that's not saying anything against, you know, people that have had bad things like that happen. Because I'm not saying that my kids never got injured, because Kim was probably 4. She got her finger smashed in the car door. And it literally broke the tip of the bone off in her first finger. Like, just snapped that little bone right in half. You know, but that wasn't because I wasn't watching them, because I was right there when it happened. It just, you know, maybe I should just not talk about all that. But, Andrea one time locked herself in a dog kennel, and that was when I was working graveyards. So I was dead asleep, and she kept trying to yell, and she couldn't get out of the kennel, and I couldn't get there to get her because I was knocked out sleeping. So, you know, things happened. Why are you... Come on, do I need to add some more wax? Because it's not sticking. Maybe I'll get just a little. I know a lot of people don't like to use this wax either. They like putties or what are those little dot things? Whatever. You know, I just have not found anything that I actually prefer over something else. I don't really like putty much because it is so dry where I live. Like, I think the last maybe week or so it's been raining every afternoon, so it's better. But maybe a month ago, we were at like an average of 9% humidity every day, maybe 7, as low as 7 at some point. It was so dry. And so the putty just dries out, and I don't think it works as good when it's dry, but you don't want it wet either. Like, I don't know how, it's so finicky, I think. So I just use this stupid pink wax until I get brave. I've been thinking about getting a Picmondu, which is a vacuum pen, but I was leery of the vacuum pens in the beginning because I do have neuropathy, and there's a subtle vibration in the vacuum pen, you know, and I was worried. I'm vibrating myself. That's not a problem that I have. But I was worried about how it would irritate the nerves in my hands with that real subtle vibration. But the Picmondu has like a little box that creates the vacuum that sits separate from the pin. So the pin doesn't actually have a vibration to it because the suction all comes from the little box that sits separate. So I'm thinking I might try one of those just to, but then I'm like, do I want to waste the money and get it and then still not like it, when I'd rather spend the 30 bucks on a light pad so that maybe I can avoid this glaring ring light for a while? I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide what I would rather have. Would you come on? Get out of there. Oop, there's that. And one more. There we go. Okay. So I've got two. I swear I just put wax in this pen too, and it's already dried out. That's another thing. Like, the wax drives me crazy. But it's just so much more plentiful because it comes with everything. Come on. See, now I usually can multi-place pretty good, but maybe because my wax is new, it's kind of sticky. I don't know. But, so, I played some Minecraft with my friends yesterday. It's been a while, so that was fun. That was a good time. So I don't know, you guys let me know, have you tried any of those vacuum pens? How do you like them? And do you get that subtle vibration that maybe you don't even notice too much? Because, let go. I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I can't see. That's another thing. I've been needing to get my eyes checked for like a year. But I hate going to the eye doctor. I hate buying new glasses. It's such a nuisance to do all that. Or maybe I'm just afraid that one day I'm going to go and they're going to say, oh, you're just too blind now. I don't know. I feel like every time I have gone in the last decade, my prescription has gotten worse. And I don't want to face that. Like, why is my eyeballs failing me? Of course, maybe if I get new glasses, I'd actually be able to see. I mean, you know, just maybe. Maybe. Sometimes it's never that simple, though. You know what I'm saying? I tried to cook a scrambled egg the other day because I'm not getting enough protein in my diet. And I'm sick to death of everyone like, protein, protein, protein. I'm just over it. I'm over it. But, so I was scrambling an egg, and it was almost perfect until I flipped it. So, somebody give me some tips on how to flip an egg and have it just remain perfect, because I cannot do that. I can't see this. Okay, there we go. I had to like come up over the ring light instead of looking under it. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 4. And so after I finish this one, which usually this would be my small one that I work on the couch with, but I decided to bring it over here so I could film me working on it, because I really, I missed a spot. I'm afraid to finish it because I don't want it to be done already, but at the same time I want to finish it because I want to start on Chuck, and if I don't know, I might do my Dreamer Designs. I only have 1 Dreamer Designs, and I might do that one over on the couch once I'm done with this. And then I'll just do the pincer over here, and maybe once in a while, maybe I'll get a whip wheel and do the heading home a little. But I have finished the full bottom row now, but that's as far as I've gotten. You know, we're just gonna not talk about it because these drills, even with dryer sheets, are so staticky. They weren't that staticky when I put them in, but now they're getting that way. Crazy town. Okay. Let's see. I guess I could 2-place for a while. I bought. Now see, this is where I'm having struggles for real, because I was like, ooh, Diamond Art Club came out with I think they're called Mega Dazzles or something, but you know, they have their mini dazzles, which are like 4 inches by 6 inches, and they fit perfectly in this cute little photo album I have over here. But they had a pack that was like throwbacks from the 80s, and I was born in the 70s, so I'm a child of the 80s, you know. So I had to get it. And then I got those Mega Dazzles ones, which are, I think they said 8 by 10. And I thought those would be great because I've got that little A4 purple album, you know, that has those junky old paintings with all the phrases that I showed you in my stash video. But I can put them in there, and their images they're called the old masters, which is, you know, the artists from the past. And some of the most famous artwork they put out, like I'm pretty sure there was Mona Lisa and Girl with the Pearl Earring, Starry Night, you know, just a few of those real awesome things, you know. And I'm so excited to get them. But at the same time, like, why are you spending money again on small things, you know? I need big diamond paintings that are going to last forever, because otherwise I'm going to burn through all the ones I have and I'm not going to have more to do. And then I'm going to be sad, because what am I going to film about? I haven't yet heard anyone say they're interested in my quilt, even though, and I haven't worked on my quilt in over 2 weeks because I've been having a lot of pain in my back. And so sitting at the sewing machine right now is a hard no. Today's the first day I've been able to sit at the desk at all, you know. It's been pretty bad for like a week. I wish I could get that under control. Alas, I am broken. But anyway, so last point I was at my quilt, I was sewing the whole center of the top, like all the squares. I'm sewing them together, and then after I get those together, I'm going to do a 1-inch border around it, and then I'm going to do another 8-inch border around that, and it's going to be so cool. I wonder, I don't think I have a picture. I think it's in my phone, the picture of the quilt, of what it's supposed to look like finished. So, but the hardest part is not, all of that is going to be easy once I get to it. It's going to go together real easy. I've already got it all cut and ready to go. It just needs the actual sewing part. And that's not going to take long, maybe a few hours. The hard part is going to be when I actually start the quilting process. So I learned that when you're making a quilt, like all the work that I've been doing, it's part of the process of making a quilt, but the actual quilting is the seams that they put into the quilt, you know. So once you put it all together, the top, which is the design, the part that I've designed, and then the batting, which goes in the middle, and then the backing, which is usually just a solid piece, or 2 large pieces of fabric sewn together, because it's going to be a queen size quilt. And so anyway, the quilting process is actually the sewing of the 3 layers together, like, and you can do it in patterns, or you can do like simple ones where you just go along the edges of the stitches. That's called stitching in the ditch. I know, I love that term, stitch in the ditch. You know, but it's just little things like that, that I've got to do for the top before I get to this quilting process. And then the quilting is just gonna be, oh, I just left a bunch of wax there. Come on, pick it up. Oh, there we go. See? And that's how you deal with wax. So I'm kind of stoked to be at this point in the quilting process, but at the same time, I don't feel like anyone cares except me. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about, you know, I've got friends and family that I've been, you know, trying to talk about my quilt with, and they just don't seem to. I mean, you know, they're not mean, they're not rude about it. They're like, oh, nice, 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 you know, but you can tell that they're just really not interested. So maybe it's just me because I'm a crafter. I did also, so my grandbaby a couple of weeks ago turned 11, my older one, and he, his mom sent pictures of him and her sitting around crocheting. It was so cute. I did not know that she had taken up crocheting, let alone, you know, him, because we have a very complicated relationship. And, but it was just cute. Like, she's taken up crocheting, and I've been crocheting for a few years. And then you see this cute little boy, and he's crocheting. So I think it's adorable when boys get involved in crafts. And when men do it, I think it's amazing. I think that men get life too hard sometimes. Not all men, but, you know, listen at me. Not all men. But, you know, like, they have to carry the weight of the whole family sometimes. Like, they have to be the breadwinner, and my poor husband's still working 60 hours a week. Not because he's choosing to, like he was in the beginning, but now it's mandatory. And when he was working at Amazon years ago, it was the same thing. Like, you know, certain times of the year, specifically like Prime Days and around the holidays, they would force them to work 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts, or sometimes they would do 6 days a week, 10-hour shifts. But it was a lot either way. So we thought he had finally gotten this job at the lock company where he wouldn't have to do so much overtime all the time. But here we are. They're behind in another department. They don't have the staff, is what it is, to keep up with the you know, the purchase load, I guess. So they're behind on their fulfillments, and that's why they're making them work so much. And I just feel bad, because for some men it's like that. They just have to work all the time. But doing crafting things would be so much more relaxing for them. I'm not supposed to be using the... Yep. I'm supposed to be using this one for... the ABs, because they don't get as... This one is dried out, so it's not as sticky. Apparently, that's not true. You know, that's another thing. Like, ABs, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong. But they're not my favorite special. Because they just, you know, these, unless there was like the whole canvas in ABs, they just look different to me. They look too abnormal. And I thought if I single placed all the specials that it might last longer. You know, whatever. Oh, dog hair. Nope. Bird feather. But of the specials, I think ABs are not my favorite. I like the dusty drills because they just have that little shimmer to them, that little pearlescent shimmer. But I really like them on the darker drills than the pale pinks or the whites, you know. I mean, I love them no matter what, but I like them better on darker colors like greens and blues. And so what are your guys' favorite drills, special drills? I'm curious minds want to know. Here we go. So, and it looks like I might finish this section, but I'm not going to finish the whole thing during this WIP and chat because we're already over half an hour. And I feel like all I've done is bring up things I shouldn't be talking about. Questionable conversation topics. Anyway. Here we go. This is that green dusty. And I have heard that it's like mica powder that they dust on the top. My sister, one of my sisters, she does resin and she uses mica powder in her resin. So that's pretty cool. Wax. So she has a huge amount of mica powder, you know, all kinds of colors, and it's pretty cool. I have some resin molds. I don't have space for that, and I'd have to do it like either in the garage or outside because birds have a very sensitive respiratory system. Like, I can't even cook on Teflon in my house because it could make them very sick. So we're stainless steel around here all the way. So the resin, I can't imagine would be, I mean, I can't even like burn Scentsy wax and all of that because I think there's one type of candle that you can get that's safe, and it's not wax, it's made of something else, but I can't remember because of course I'm so forgetful. Come on, get down. What? Anyway, soy. I think it's made of soy. I don't know why I forget that. I eat soy all the time. But anyway, yeah, it's a soy candle. And those are safe, but that's the only kind of candle or scented thing that I can burn around Mr. Nico. Oh, speaking of him, is it time to get him up? He can wait. Oh, I got a few more. And we have almost lost him to an infection in the past. He had, so he doesn't like the shower too much, but you have to spray them because they make this stuff called bird dust, and the dust gets into their own respiratory all the time, so you end up with a sick bird no matter what. But anyway, so we had this like misting bottle where it's kind of like a squirt bottle, but you just mist them down. And I was dumb and didn't know that you couldn't just leave the water in there and mist him with the same water later, because bacteria gets in there too fast. And so then you're just coating your baby with bacteria, you know. So I had been just leaving the water in there, and he did get sick and almost died because the infection, it takes over their tiny little bodies so fast. It is actually insane how fast he got sick, and it went into his sinuses, but then it went into his nasal passages, and then it started invading the bone in his nasal passages, and it took a year of the heaviest antibiotics they could give, and flushing his whole nasal and eye sockets out because there was just so much. It was just awful, and we thought he wasn't going to make it, even his vet. And then one day we went in there, and I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but if somebody has a bacterial infection, you can smell it. You can smell it on them. And he had that bacterial smell. It's like a sweet, it's sweet, but it's offensive. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's this one particular odor, and he had that smell for a year. And then one day he just didn't anymore. And when we took him to the vet, because we were taking him in every single week to get that flush of his sinuses and whatever, and I took him in, and I was like, Dr. Rue, he doesn't smell. You can't smell that bacteria. And she was like, that was the first thing I noticed when I walked in, was there was no smell. So she went and did another CT scan, and his infection was gone. Just gone. It was, it was just amazing that all of a sudden the antibiotics, the flushings, and then his own little body finally was able to beat that infection. And now we have a spoiled little bird who got away with a lot of stuff when he was in palliative care, because we didn't think he was gonna go on. And that's why he's such a turkey these days. I call him my little chicken boy a lot. He's my little chicken boy because he's so bad. And I don't know why I think chickens are bad. But that's my rotten little boy. And I hear him. He's awake, so I'm going to have to go get him. So, let me do these last 3 right here, and then I'll pause you and go get him. So you guys can say good morning, and then we'll wrap this on up. Because it is, 50 minutes here. So, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Say good morning, Nico. Say hi, Nico. Blowing kisses. You got a feather on your beak. There we go. How are you, baby? Did you have a good sleep? You did? Yeah? Is it breakfast time? You done waiting? All right. So, thanks for joining me today while I worked on this little cutie. We've only got just this color in this, all in this little area right here and right here. Let me see if I can get a little back a little closer so you can see. So yeah, right here, and then here, here, and then these areas here. And then I've just got this square to go, and she'll be all done. And this background up here, even though it wasn't color blocked down here, I mean it was still largely color blocked, but it wasn't pure because there was a little bit of right there, and there's been these little pink lines that go, which I didn't even notice those until I started working on the canvas, and I thought, what is this pink color here? But see the top section over here, it's all the same color except for just these little pink lines that are like, I don't know. So, but I think other than right along the edge here, there's a little bit of that pink color, but the rest is going to be this pink. So that's going to go fast. And a lot of her part is this pink that I'm using right now. So it's gonna go fast too, because I'm not gonna have to change my colors out. And the rest is just a few other little details, and she's gonna be done. So I'm gonna finish her up today and get started on Chuck Pinson Sanctuary. I'm excited. I'm so excited to get, I think I'm gonna record it all and then do like time-lapse video of the whole thing. That's gonna be crazy, but it'll be like my first canvas bigger than 30 by 40. No, I think I've done a 40 by 50 centimeter one, which is like 16 inches by 18 and a half inches, maybe. I don't know. It's too early to be mathing. It's only a little after 7. So, but yeah, I'm thinking it's a 50 by 6, a 40 by 50 that I've done. I've never done a, I'm sorry. Am I saying funny things that you are laughing at me? Oh yeah, I gotta get him some breakfast, so I gotta go. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys are all looking forward to that Chuck Pinson, because I really am gonna record it all and do it in a time lapse. I really want to. Have to figure out how to edit into a time lapse, but we'll get there. I'll figure it out. So I hope everybody has a great week and weekend coming up, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a WIP Wednesday video. So, all right.